Music. I like it. And I think that one of the most important parts of games is the music. The music and sound of a game is one of the main parts that makes the experience more immersive and memorable. Whether it's atmospheric and creepy, hype and blood pumping, or oddly relaxing, the music turns a game from a game into a world. So today, I want to ramble a bit about the music and the games I like. I've also chaptered the video, so feel free to skip through to the games you care about. The first games I want to talk about are Omori and Hello Charlotte. Starting with my favourite game ever, Omori. This game tackles themes of mental health, trauma, grief and regret. However, you might not know that when listening to songs like this. Omori is masterful at conveying emotions through music. The happier, more upbeat songs used during the dream shows how much Sunny wants his life to be as happy as it is in them. In the real world, him and his friends aren't as close due to something that happened. I won't spoil it because goddamn the story of this game is life changing. The calmer sounds are my favourites though. Songs like Spaces in Between, Sugar Star Planetarium, the slowed version especially, and Orchid being my favourites. Another one of my favourite games, and possibly my favourite soundtrack, is Hello Charlotte. The music from the third episode especially is both calming and unsettling. It's hard to describe quite how these songs make me feel, but there's nothing that matches it. It somehow manages to find the perfect mix of comforting and uncomforting, settling and unsettling. That matches perfectly with the game's story and themes. Songs like Macra and Baby Blues and My First Slave Card shows what I mean perfectly. The game also has these piano pieces that kind of make me reflect in a way. Thoughtful being the one that fits the more distorted style of the others, and Farewell being a beautiful song from the second episode. Another song I want to mention from the game is Melancholic Ending. This track is a masterpiece. Playing at the end of the game, it really lives up to the name. The song mainly reminds me of how much the character of Charles has suffered, and in the end he has to put his own creation, the only thing that brought him happiness, to rest was sad to see. His life was a hard one and he found peace in his story, and characters, and this song to me shows how he had to let it go. Basically, if you haven't played this game, you should. Also, you should watch my video on it that flopped. I'm probably going to remake it in the future though, because I love this game too much. The game also has these high-pitched, disturbing tracks that are used in the more violent scenes. Insides on the Floor being an example of this. And if you couldn't tell from the name, this is played at the time when Charlotte's insides are on the floor. So yeah, overall absolute masterpiece of a soundtrack, and if anyone knows what the style is musical, please drop a comment because it's too damn good. Now for my second favourite game behind Omori, Twilight Princess. This is mainly because of the world and atmosphere, and the music is one of the main things that helps build that. The game's main theme of Twilight, the time between night and day, is shown in the music, how it varies to show that. Hyrule Field having a loud orchestral track that makes you feel like you're on an adventure, or the calm relaxed music of Lake Hylia, making it into one of the most relaxed and beautiful places in the game. A place I think that the lack of music is also used as a benefit is in Snow Peak, my favourite location in the game. The mountain is quiet, the only sounds being heard being the howling of the wind, these angelic vocals and the occasional strong piano keys. This adds to the desolate atmosphere of the area until you arrive at the main location of the mountain, Snow Peak Ruins. This being my favourite dungeon in the game due to the atmosphere and location. After trekking up the mountain you arrive at this abandoned mansion, home to these two yetis. We never got told what happened to the mansion to make it abandoned or who originally inhabited it. The mansion is a calming, peaceful yet mysterious place. The inside being cozy with fire used as lighting and the outside being completely taken by snow. Going through it we see paintings of what could be royalty, the previous owners before whatever happened. Like many of the other dungeons in the game it was lost to time, the people forgotten and the place replaced. The music shows this, the rising notes creating mystery and the violin matching it beautifully. And if you couldn't tell from the Yakuza video, I love me some snow locations. The game has its fair share of spooky songs as well. An example of this being when you enter the Twilight realm and this Silent Hill type music plays. All of the music matches the locations of dungeons perfectly. The majority of the dungeons show the theme of being forgotten or lost to time, and the music shows that. The city in the sky is this mesmerising angelic music, and the arbiter's ground being these large empty drum banging, matching with the subtle rising of what I think is a violin. I don't really know instruments, so sorry if I'm wrong. Silent Hill 2 is possibly one of the greatest soundtracks of all time. It ranges from calming and melancholic with tracks like Forest to loud and threatening with tracks like Blank Fairy. The soundtrack is the perfect blend of beautiful and straight fear. I love White Noise especially. The mysterious, soothing yet uncomforting sounds make for an amazing song that's a feeling that not many other songs have. The same can be said for a lot of the other songs in the soundtrack. There's not many other OSTs that match the sheer quality of these songs and the style of them. The music sets the mood and makes the player feel immersed in the world of Silent Hill. Terror in the Depths of the Fog is another song I really like, being played during the Born from a Wish section. When I first played the game, the ending I got was the In Water one, and my god, it was perfect. I'm not going to spoil it to you in case you haven't played it already, but damn it hit. And without the music matching the game so perfectly, I don't think I would have been immersed in the game, and therefore not as affected by the ending. The last track I want to leave this section on is Promise. I have a confession to make. I am a Sonic fan. You can probably tell from my banner or the fact that I use Sonic music in most of my videos, but as much as I hate to say it, this franchise means a lot to me. The characters in the games have been a part of my life for as long as I can remember, and my YouTube channel before this was actually a Sonic discussion one. I might start a second channel and do it again, but we'll see. And what seems to be the only consistent part of these games is the music. I'd say it peaked in the Crush 40 era, having these disgustingly hard tracks, songs like I'm All of Me and His World embodying the characters perfectly. I know His World isn't by Crush 40, but it's from the same era. Heavy on I'm All of Me as well. This song is so good and one I listen to regularly. Other masterpieces created by Crush 40 are Night of the Wind from the best Sonic game. The absolute classic that's Live and Learn. Never Turn Back is also amazing. Starts out with these calm piano notes and then boom, one of the greatest video game songs ever plays. Sonic and the Black Knight also is Through the Fire and Fight the Night, which are also amazing. Another set of songs at a peak are the Knuckles tracks from the Sonic Adventure games. I know from ME version 1 being my favourite.
Tougher than leather, you can call me Knuckles. Unlike Sonic, I don't chuckle. I'd rather flex my muscles.
Version 2 is also groovy as hell. We all know a Ghost Pumpkin's suit. Dive Into the Meadow is also amazing, as well as Kick the Rock. And don't get me started on the spin-offs. Sonic R is a phenomenal soundtrack, with songs like Reactive Factory. And Sonic Riders also has some amazing ones like Free, the Crush 40 version being my favourite. The music isn't limited to stuff like this only though. And that's shown in the theme of Mephiles, who's also going to be Shadow Generations, like oh my god, we are winning. The theme is these mysterious, creepy piano notes that add to the unknown and mysterious aspects of Mephiles.
I owe much to you, Shadow.
Although I think the music peaked in the era I just spoke about, I do still like the music of the newer games. Infinite's theme is great and the boss themes in Frontiers are also amazing. Generations music, although being mainly remixes, are all great as well. And the song I want to leave this section on is Endless Possibilities from Sonic Unleashed. And that's about all I have to say. I would have spoke about the music of Persona, but I already did that in my other videos you totally check out. So if you enjoy, subscribe, and this is goodbye for now.